My name is Joe Yates. I'm 34 years old. I struggle with methamphetamine addiction and alcohol addiction, and I've been sober now for 15 months. So I was born in Virginia Beach, Virginia. My parents were in the military. So for the first, I think it was like 2 to 3 years, I lived with my grandparents. They lived in Baltimore, Maryland. And then once my mom got out of the military, I went back and started living with her. My mom kind of struggled with mental health issues of her own. So a lot of the times it was because of her mental health that we would move closer to family so that way they'd be able to help her out. After a while, it kind of got old because I was constantly on the go, constantly moving. And it was just one of those things where I just kind of grew tired of it, trying to make new friends, trying to fit in, you know, doing things that I wouldn't normally do just to try to fit in. And so around this time is when I started drinking and experimenting with weed and stuff like that. It wasn't very often. It was, you know, every now and then we, get drunk on the weekends. And then as I got older, it started to progress more and more to, like an everyday thing. So I actually ended up going to Kirkwood Community College up in Cedar Rapids. I didn't finish there because I thought my perception of college was it was just supposed to be one big party. So basically all I did every night was party, and I never went to class. And so I ended up dropping out of college after my first semester. So this was around the time when my alcoholism kind of picked up really, really bad. I was drinking every day. It provided relief. It made all my problems go away for that moment. It was just like any other drug. It just helped me just forget about what was going on. Because at that moment, like, I had alcohol. I didn't have to worry about finding a job or going back to school or, worried about what people were thinking of me. I just knew I had my alcohol and I was gonna have fun that night. A friend of mine introduced me to meth, and as time went on, my addiction progressed and got worse. For about 4.5 years, I was steadily doing meth. I became homeless. I couldn't keep a job. To me, meth was like that one thing that you just don't do. So like if any of my friends from our previous life found out about it, they would be like, kind of like, what the heck are you doing? Like, you don't do this. There's so much stigma behind it to the point where it was ruining people's lives and just taking people away from their families, and then to throw not to throw in like a racial fact, but I'm African American. We don't do meth. That's just one of the things. We either drink, we smoke weed, or maybe do cocaine, but you don't do meth. I don't know what it was about meth. It was just the whole allure of it was just smoking it, snorting it, whatever. It just made you feel 10 times better, and that was that high that I was chasing. It was just feeling better, making all my problems go away. And slowly but surely, I did start losing everything, and it was one of those things that it just took my life away from me. When my mom kicked me out, I started couch surfing. I was homeless. I've slept on park benches before. I've, slept on the ground before. I got in trouble with the law lots of times. It was rough. It was something I never thought I'd have to go through in my life. I just remember, she didn't really say anything specific. I just remember seeing a look in her eyes like she didn't want to do it, but she knew she had to. I felt betrayed because I felt like it was my mom, like she's not supposed to kick me out. But looking back on it now, it was the right thing to do. I was in jail 3 or 4 times. It was nice knowing that I had a place to sleep, which sounds weird because that would be like the last place anyone would ever want to be. But it helped me get my mind right and just kind of get back on track and realize what I was doing. But honestly, it was a lonely feeling. I mean, the only person I had, my mom was there. I would call her pretty much every day. She's always had my back throughout the whole thing. She knew I was better than that. But all those friends that I was out using that I thought were my true friends, and like they would have my back no matter what. They weren't nowhere to be found. I had to be put in drug court, basically a prison diversion program. It's for low-level offenders. Every night I would have to call in by 10 and tell them, leave a message saying, hey, I'm home, the time is this, the date is this, and that would be that. Drug court really afforded me a lot of opportunities as far as not going to prison, number one. But number two, just being able to get a chance to get sober. I think that if I would have went to prison, I probably would have got out in 2 or 3 years or something like that, and I probably would have just hit the ground running again. Even while I was in drug court, I had a few relapses. I thought it was something that I could control at that point, because I was like, okay, well, I've been clean for 5.5 months. I went through rehab, so this can be something that I can do one more time and just get out of my system, be done with it, and then that would be it. With meth, it's not just you can do it one thing and then be done. It's once you get back on it, you're back on it, and it's got its grips on you, and it's not gonna let go. It's almost like you're in a straitjacket. You can't get out, you can't do anything, you can't go anywhere, you can't move. And to me, yeah, that's honestly what it feels like. You're just stuck. Trying to get clean was probably one of the hardest things I had to do, because I gave up something that I thought that I was in love with. I had to overcome losing something, almost like losing a friend. So I needed something that was at least a year long to get my head right, because those 21-day programs, they're okay, but me personally, I knew that I needed something more. Once I walked through the door, I just kind of felt a sense of peace, of relief. Like I knew I was supposed to be here, like this is where I was supposed to be. Everyone was so welcoming, everyone was so nice, and I wasn't really used to that. Like I was used to being on the streets and having to worry about like my stuff, and it sounds like, is my stuff gonna be okay in here? It was just like an open area where anybody could just come in and get my stuff. So yeah, it was, overall though, the experience of just coming here, it was awesome. It really was. Like I said, I never felt more at home anywhere. It allowed me to really, honestly, just collect my thoughts and get my mind right and get it together. Since I've been at 180, I've gotten my driver's license back. I've completed drug court, graduated 180. I bought a car. Things have just been on the up and up. So I'm an assistant men's home supervisor. And basically what I do is I'm just there to be support for the guys. We work alongside, we're getting them to their appointments and classes and anything that they need, if they want to just talk to someone. I think that's the best part of my job, is just listening. Sometimes just to hear what the guys are thinking, and first thing I usually tell all the guys is like, you're in a safe place now, you don't have to worry. I don't know what your situation was before you got here, but you're in a safe place now. And I tell them about my experience when I first got here, how I felt, and I'm like, I know exactly how you feel. I've been there, we've all been there. Rehab in the African American community, I feel like, is not as seen as such a prominent thing, because you don't go to rehab. You don't want to admit that you have a problem. And it's just like you fix it yourself, or you just keep doing what you're doing. I think that anyone from any background can come here and grow and succeed. But it does take a certain type of person, and when I say a certain type of person, I mean a person that's willing to submit, surrender, and trust the process as it be. The choice that I choose to make today is the choice to stay sober. I gained my freedom back, so I'm thriving now, and I'm doing good in life, and I'm making all the right moves, and I'm going in the right direction.